What's up, brother? Welcome to another episode of the Rich Mystic Man podcast. I'm your host, Clint X Morgan, and let's get into it. So today I want to have a interesting conversation with you all. And so the other day I had my retreat, the Rich Man, right? So I was away. It was in Sydney. We live in the Northern Rivers, and so it's 1,000 kilometers away. So I went down there for the weekend. And so when I was gone, my wife was at home with the kids, right? And often she can have a bit of a hard time, as do I. If she goes away, it's we got 3 small children, 6, 3, and 2, and so it's pretty wild at the best of times. It's wild with all of us, and so when one goes away, it's definitely more challenging. Sometimes it's nice. I think it's nice because you get to have this time with them that you don't have when you're with your partner, because when you're with your partner, because it's like you're trying to, you're wanting to connect with your partner. I was experiencing that this morning. I was having a nice conversation with my partner, and my son's like, Dad, Mom, Dad. It's sort of like they wait till you start talking, and then, they want to interrupt. So look at me. So sometimes it can be nice just having that time just with Dad, or, just with Mum. And so, and also too, in our relationship, we like to give each other some space. Like next month, I'm going to Colorado for a week, and I have a retreat over there that I'm very excited about. And so I'm going over there, and Christy will hold the fort, and we'll get some support and around the house. And then likewise, a few weeks ago, a month ago, she went to Dubai for a week as well. So, we like to give each other that space to go away, and then also, work things, commitments, etc. So anyway, when I came back from this retreat, Christy was saying my dog. She was talking about my dog, Vegas. And she's like, he was out of control while you were gone. I was like, what do you mean? What happened? What'd you do? And so I'm the master, right? He really listens to me, and, I feed him and take him for walks, and, pull him up on his shit, and, discipline him. And like, I'm the alpha dog, right? And so sometimes it's funny because Christy's trying to get him to do something and he won't. And then I'll ask him and he'll just come straight to me. So it's always pretty funny. But anyway, when I got back, she's like, Vegas was out of control. I said, what do you mean? She goes, well, he was getting me up at 6 a.m., making me take him for walks. He was out there humping other dogs, and, even at night, like, he'd just come and get me, and he'd bail me up, and he'd be out the door, and he'd want to go for a walk, and he's out there sniffing. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's pretty funny. Anyway, so because that's not how he was. Like, he likes to go on walks, and I take him for walks and things like that. But I was like, oh, maybe he's almost 1, right? And so his testicles have gotten a lot bigger. And I was like, I think this is a sign, like, this is why people desex their dogs. And so I was like, maybe it's time that we get him desexed. Anyway, I said, babe, let me look into it. I think I called the vet, booked him in for an appointment, right? Just have a chat. And he also has a bit of a challenge with his legs. So I was like, I'll book him in for that, and also chat about this desexing thing. And so at the same time, I put a post up on Facebook, just curious, just wanted to get people's opinion and insights into desexing a dog, And so I wrote up this post, and, it was something along the lines of like, hey, meet Vegas, I need your help. Any, dog people out there, I've got this dog, this is the situation. I went away, came back. Vegas is now strutting around the street like he owns the place, humping dogs, cocking his leg everywhere. And that's another thing. I've never seen him cock his leg. And I know that from dogs. Like, a boy dog will, when they're younger, they'll squat, but then as they, come into their manhood, they'll start cocking their leg and, putting their scent everywhere. And so he started doing that as well. Anyway, so I wrote this post up, and I said, any insights or experiences with like desexing or not desexing? And then I was just sort of joking. I said, if not, we'll take it to a vote. Nuts, comment, nuts stay or nuts go, right? And this post went bananas. It's probably one of my most engaged posts. There was like 160 comments or something on it, right? And I was like, holy shit, this is a real thing. This is something that people are deeply passionate about. And there was very strong opinions, and strong opinions for both cases. And one, the case of like, get rid of their nuts. And the other case was like, keep their nuts. Some of the comments were that when you were in trouble as a teenager, did your parents cut off your nuts? Right? I'll come back to that one because maybe they didn't cut them off, but a lot of mothers have their child by the balls. So they didn't chop them off, but they held them so tightly that you weren't allowed to really be and express. Love you, mumps. So these comments went on. And, some people were getting, like, I can't believe this is so barbaric that people do this. And then people like, you have to do it. Like, think about all the I guess, stray dogs and dogs without a home, etc. Which I think it's a valid point. Now, there's valid points in all of it. And I can agree with all of it, in a sense. But it really got me thinking. And at the same time, I'm, having this conversation around the dog. And I've also been exploring the pineal breath. So utilizing breath and my body as an instrument to cultivate energy and draw presence and activate my pineal gland, which is in my brain or somewhere in my head, and utilizing my breath to activate all the good, juicy stuff that comes from the pineal, DMT, serotonin. And so I've been able to, like, through years of practice and refinement and testing, I can now do this breath to have a full, like, DMT trip experience. And so I've just been playing with it. I got it, and it sort of happened by chance one day, and then I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? So I've just been playing with it and exploring this breath. And I've got it to a point where I can, warm up the body a little bit, do a few of these breaths, and I'm like out on the floor having an experience for a moment. And I come back, and I generally come back and I'm laughing, and I just feel so good. It's like this rush of sensations in my body. So I've been playing with this breath, and my wife thinks that I'm a danger to society. And she's semi-joking, but she's saying things like, you're a loose cannon, because I'm now like exploring this breath a lot. So I'll be in the sauna and I'm just playing with this breath just a little bit. And I've learned how to do it to a point where, I'm not on the floor all the time. But I've just been playing with this breath. Anyway, so the wife is saying things to me like, you're out of control. You're a loose cannon. You need to be reined in, right? And she's saying it with, like, tongue in cheek. But there's also, like, I can start to see now where my wild masculinity and my fully expressed self is a lot. It's a lot to be around. It's a lot for a woman to handle. It's a lot for anyone to handle. It's a lot for fucking me to handle, right? And I see my son, like he's 6, Venice, legend. And sometimes he's a lot. Just like how he just outbursts, and, he's there, he's just chilling. All of a sudden he's like running around the house screaming, right? And no doubt he's got a lot of testosterone that's pumping through his body, and he just doesn't know how to express it. Same thing with Vegas. Got this testosterone that's starting to come through, and he's like, he's just figuring it out. How do I express it? And same thing with me. It's like I've got this energy that's coming through me. I've got these, like, desires and this intensity that's coming through me. I'm like just trying to figure out how to express it. And I'm just doing my best as myself. And I see how me as a father, and also Christy as a mother, just how, like, my son is, it can be a lot. And so it's like, how do you navigate that without, like, suppressing him and allowing him to express, but also, trying to manage your family and other kids sleeping and things like that. And so trying to, like, contain this energy, and then understanding, like, okay, where is this my own shit and where I'm just triggered by someone expressing themselves, or where is this, like, okay, cool, let's, come on, baby, it's time to, it's time to go to sleep. Something to wind it down. Let's take some breath. Breathe with me. And, working to navigate some of these energies, just like I would myself. Okay, cool, there's a lot going on. Okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot, like, all right, let's take some breath. Let's be centered. And to add to all this, at the same time, I'm working through the male gates, which is a body of work that I've been exploring now for the past 6.5 years. And I've embodied it to a point within myself to where I'm now guiding and teaching it to other men. And it's like deeply profound work. And we have these centers in our body, gates. And these gates, they're meant to be open, but many gates are closed. And one of these gates is our testes, our balls. And so what gate, as I'm exploring these gates again for don't know how many times I've been through them, many times, we jump on a call, the circle of brothers that I'm in, and we're exploring the third gate, which is the testes. And I'm like, of course we're exploring the testes. As I'm having this experience with Vegas and my wife and my son around, balls, and we just, your energy is too much, dog, so let's cut off your balls. Now there's the argument of like, they get blue balls and they can get cancers and all this sort of stuff. Like, yeah, okay. Or is it just that their energy is too much and so we just cut them off just so we don't have to deal with it as much? And so where, as a man, are you giving your balls away to another? Your wife, your mother, your small self, your wounds, your limitations, your distractions? Where are you not really grabbing life by the balls and going for what you truly want, going for what you truly desire, expressing yourself freely, openly, honestly, with humility and vulnerability? Allow that to land, just be with that transmission and see what that stirs within you. Can you receive what I'm sharing? Is it time for you to take your balls back? Stop giving them to others. Can you be okay in your full expression, the full variance of experiences that you have, the raw emotion that shows up in your life at different times, in different ways, in different experiences? Can you be present with that and allow that? We harness so much shame and guilt around our true nature, around our true power, around our true love. And so we keep ourselves small, we hide. Invitation now, just to bring some awareness to your testes, some breath. Most men never really explore this area, maybe with their hand or through sex, which there's nothing wrong with that. Can we bring some presence to this area? Bring some breath, some awareness, some life force, some care, some love, some respect, and some honor. So my question for you is, where are you giving your power away? Where are you giving your balls away? Where can you reclaim that power? Reclaim your balls and live fully as you, as a man, penetrating life and fulfilling your unique purpose, your spiritual quest, and your embodiment as a man. And as an offering, if you're curious about exploring this work in the male gates, then the invitation is to send me a DM and have a conversation as I guide a group of men together, or as a one-on-one experience. It's available to you. So much latent power within you that you ain't even seen yet. So reach out, let's have a chat. And if not, claim your balls, brother. Live life with your balls. See you next week.
Sitting here watching the clock, I'm struggling, thinking of the bullshit that I've been juggling. Is there more to life than this? I'm thinking twice.